Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions television show. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
Hey, man, I'm good. Coming up in just a little bit, we have an opportunity to get out of the gloom and doom. We finally can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We got sports.
We got some sports, DJ, and we got some high school football all the way through the NFL. Hey, man, I'm ready for it.
And the NBA playoffs start this week, and let me tell you something. Remember the name Damian Lillard. He is something special.
He is, DJ. Didn't see it coming. But hey, it's going to be a nice series between the Blazers and the LA Lakers.
And the Major League Baseball season is 1/3 through the 60-game sprint, and the Atlanta Braves are still looking pretty good, even without all of their pitching on staff. All of that more and a whole lot more coming up next on Sports Visions.
Japan, they have something called Kobe beef. That's how we do it at Luke's Pub. 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 Y'all come out and see us.
Miss Florence is one of the most caring and professional people I have ever met. She absolutely loves children and wants to make sure they succeed. I'm one of them. She really cares for her entire community. She is awesome.
I want our students and families to feel a sense of confidence that the school board is working in their best interest. It's working for their safety.
Vote for Miss Florence Bellamy.
Paid for by the campaign to elect Florence Bellamy.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. I tell you, Dale, it is really exciting now that we do have some games that are actually meaningful that we can talk about. I know that the NBA playoffs just started, as well as Major League Baseball is doing their thing. They're they're 2/3 of the way through the season. But high school football is right here on us again, with Opelika opening up this week.
I mean, really, DJ, after last week and hearing all the good news that we were hearing from the high schools, from the Alabama side to the Georgia side, you know, it gave us a lot of hope that we're going to have a high school football season, and we continue to be hopeful that, you know, all the kids stay safe, get in school, do their virtual thing, whatever way they do it, just stay safe, and we'll have a great football season.
Even though we do have several schools in Georgia that obviously have had to shut down after admitting the kids on campus, there's still hope, and again, we do look forward to the football games, in particular the football games that we will be broadcasting on PMB, of course, with WRCG 92.1, the high school football games of the week.
The high school football games of the week, they're going to be a great opportunity for us to engage a little bit more in high school football, and, you know, we're going to kick it off Labor Day weekend. Hopefully there's no programs being suspended because of the COVID-19 situation, but really, I think Muskogee County has done a great job, and over in Phoenix City, they've done a great job with doing the coronavirus protocol.
We are going to call the games, but we're going to need your help as well. We're looking for sponsors. Obviously, we do have some spots available for some lucky folks that want to get grassroots, you know, connections in the community, of course, with our broadcast. And if you want to do that, go ahead and give us a call. We have a very, very economical way for you to get on board. 706-681-1136 is my number, and you can call Dale at 706-681-5192. Now let's get on with the business. Obviously, we had an opportunity to spend some time talking to Coach Eric Spiegman. Of course, he is the head coach of the Opelika Bulldogs, and they're coming into the season with a preseason ranking of number 6, which is for coaches, as I mentioned to him, you know, it's great to not be on top as the number 1 seed, and it's great to not be on the bottom. The bullseye is not on his back. He's kind of starting in the middle of the pack, but the Opelika program has been really, really good for years, and looking forward to them getting off to a good start this week.
We had a great conversation with Coach this past weekend, and really I think one of the biggest things that we realized too, DJ, is that he's still succeeding even in the midst of the COVID-19 protocols that he has to do. A lot of new things really happening just for as social distancing is concerned, so for as the testing is concerned, all the other things, but really his kids are ready to play football, and the program is being run, you know, they've had some cases, but at the same time, they're still able to be excited about their upcoming games.
Going up against Stanhope Elmore, and again, I know they're looking to get off into their chase for the state championship as well as the region championship. But, when you talk about Coach Speakman, I do want to give you a little bit of information on him. It's 21 years that he's been at Opelika High School, 17 years there as an assistant coach, primarily as a defensive coordinator, but getting the head job a few years back. Really love his spirit. I love his communication skills. I love his networking skills as well, because obviously, we have a job to do at the end of the year with collecting stats and bios for the players. And,
That's right.
Coach Speakman does an excellent job of getting back with us. We have a lot of coaches to deal with, over 20, almost 30 coaches, and we know how busy you are. And of course, you know as well, with the Opelika program being as strong as it is, and with all the responsibilities that he has, we're really appreciative of Coach Speakman getting back to us, as several of our other coaches, but we wish that he would take the lead with all of our coaches and get us the information that we need for our Sports Vision's at end of the year high school football awards luncheon.
I mean, he does a great job, DJ. He always gets back with us. He has a great opportunity to put his players out, his press. He has press clippings of his players. He keeps you informed of what his kids are doing each week, in and out, and I think really that is a great indicator. But one of the biggest things that I remember just talking to him, what we talked to him about, was the ticket process, DJ. And being in Opelika, Central, Auburn, they play in one of the toughest regions in the state of Alabama, and I think one of the things that we did talk about was that it's very hard to play in that division, but at the same time, it's going to be some ticket allocations and some ticket limitations during this year, during the COVID-19 situation. And I think really that's going to hurt the school a little way. But one good thing about Opelika, man, it is funded by the city of Opelika, so that helps out tremendously. They have a great booster club, and really all the successful programs seem to have great booster clubs.
You mentioned successful programs. The Central Red Devils also will be looking to do wonderful things this year. And again, just naming a few teams as in the region, in the Bi-City area, in the Chattahoochee Valley. You talk about Troop, and you talk about Carver, George Washington Carver Tigers, of course, over there with Corey Joyner. He's looking for them to get out of the gates and do some big things. It's just a lot of good football teams in this area. This is no secret that this is a talent-rich area with regards to college prospects, and we look for this season to be just as good.
It's going to be just as good, DJ, and I think really with the inclusion of Troup County being in the new region here in Columbus, that's going to be real good. I think it's going to make for some great games. I think where Coach Glisson does a great job up at Troup County, doing a lot of things. They got some new facilities that are going up. The Grange High School got stuff going, new facilities are going up. If you don't have new facilities now, you're missing the boat. But I think I'm looking forward to seeing some great Sports Vision games of the week, DJ. We picked some pretty good games, and I think really hopefully we can stick to those games, because everybody that's on that list is supposed to have a great season.
I want to give a disclaimer, because we do have a schedule already announced that we've got to be announced. And again, we want to keep it real. We want to keep it real with you, because obviously if you're playing well, we want to broadcast the best games. High school game of the week. Remember that. The Sports Vision high school game of the week. So if we get 2-3 weeks into this thing and the season's going south for some of the other games that we had planned, we're going to have to make some adjustments, guys.
The key word is adjustment, DJ, because really if the team is not doing as well as we thought it would, you might switch that game up and we probably go to a hotter game. But at the same time, as this COVID-19 piece doesn't stay away, we might have to postpone a game or reschedule a game, because we don't want to postpone. If we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it.
Absolutely. And again, the big picture, we do have several states that have moved the season back. When we talk about Louisiana, they have moved their season start back to October, as well as some schools in the Carolinas. But, right now, all we know is on Friday of this week, Opelika will kick it off, and the rest is history. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Lakeisha Thomas Ligon, and I want to be your Phoenix City School Board District 3 Place 1 representative. I am a proven servant leader, a great listener, a people's person. And just to be honest, Keisha loves the kids. So on August 25th, let's level up with Lakeisha. Vote me, District 3 Place 1 for your school board representative.
Should planning your travel be more stressful than staying at home? Of course not. Here at Lumpkin Travel, our VIP service makes traveling easy and fun.
Girls Trip!
We've helped serve thousands of people and families experience their dream vacation by taking the hassle out of travel.
Thank you.
We book your flight, reserve your hotel, and make sure you have a stress-free vacation so you can enjoy every moment of it.
Thank you.
We even help you choose different activities that you're guaranteed to enjoy. And the best part is, we find you the best price at no extra charge for you. Actually, 95% of customers save money and time by booking with Lumpkin Travel. So start thinking about your dream vacation. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, we'll make it happen for you. As easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today or log on and set up your vacation of a lifetime with Lumpkin Travel, your travel agent for life.
E&S Men's Clothing Warehouse has been your most trusted name in men's fashion for more than 50 years. We've offered the area's best selection of top quality, name brand suits, accessories, and casual wear at the most competitive prices around. Customer service is our top priority. We're the professionals generations have trusted for the best quality and absolutely the best deals. We are E&S Men's Clothing Warehouse. We are simply the best.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price. 3 locations to serve you.
Hey, my name is George, and I love the Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets. It's like me grilling at home. It tastes very similar to that, except the seasoning. I probably can't season it as well as Chick-fil-A does. The chicken's super tender, and honestly, the best nuggets I've ever tasted.
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
Gear up for fall at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. Dale, it's now time for our SEC report, brought to us by our good friends from Academy Sports and Outdoors. And I know that we are looking at a situation where 2 big conferences out of the Power Fives has already opted out, but Dale, it almost might be a little too soon. Most people seem to think that obviously when you have as much time as you do for the college football season to start, especially with the Power 5 conferences, maybe waiting a little bit later into September or closer to September to the season's kickoff before you actually throw in the towel and say that you're not going to do the season might have been the right thing to do.
Well, I think it was the right thing to do right now, looking at it from, hindsight. But I think one of the biggest things about it, everybody's still concerned about the players and really for us getting those students on campus. One thing, if you delay the season, you're going to make sure that you get those students on campus and go to all the protocols that you have to do. But really, time is on the side of this thing, DJ, and we've been saying this for the longest. The longer you can wait, I think the better off we can be.
Well, the Big 12, the ACC, and the SEC are still in as of now, but already out, already thrown the towel in. The Big 10 as well as the Pac-12. And I know that the leaders of, the Big 10, the commissioner, as well as the ADs and the presidents, they're catching hell right now because, not only has one of the best football players in the country, Justin Fields, come out with a petition, of course, and it's already upwards of almost 400,000 people in just a few days wanting to reinstate the team or the conference back so that they can play. But the new commissioner in the Big Ten has made the call, and it's going to be hard for him to pull it back.
It's going to be hard to do it, DJ, but it's admirable that Justin Fields will go out, putting his name on the line, his school on the line. He wants to play. The petition speaks for itself. Everybody wants to see some football in the Big Ten, just like everywhere in the country. But I think that one of the biggest things about it, each individual school has their concerns, different concerns, and when you got that many people having concerns, it doesn't usually play well for you.
We also had the University of Georgia's athletic director, Greg McGarity, on the radio show earlier in the week. And, of course, I know that by the time we're taping this show right now, but the decision was made earlier in the week as far as what the schedule is going to be for the SEC, because they have come out with their schedule.
That's right.
And they are going to be giving the dates as well. So really eager to see what that is comprised of. We know that there are going to be 10 games against all SEC foes. There'll be the 6 games will be in your division, and 4 games will be in the other division.
Yep, DJ, and I think really, as we're doing this show, there will be an announcement of the dates and times of these games, and everybody's waiting on that, because they also had additional teams in the conference, 2 games, like Georgia picked up Mississippi State and Arkansas, where you had Alabama that picked up Kentucky and Missouri, and Auburn picked up South Carolina and Tennessee. So it makes some great games, man.
And again, the concern obviously with the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic, that's gone, and we know that obviously it's going to be late into this month of September before everything gets going. However, there are some games that are going to be played in the second week in September by some of the other conferences.
Even like the ACC opted to, when they play, they're going to have 10 games plus a non-conference game. Really, everybody had a non-conference concern, but I think the ACC had the biggest non-conference concern. They're going to pick up 1 game, 10 games plus 1 game. Then you got Notre Dame that they added to their conference. So really, it's going to be some good football, DJ, during the fall.
One of the best kept secrets, I guess, for during this pandemic is not only the fact that Kirby Smart kept the numbers down as far as, kept the numbers out of the media as far as how many of his guys tested positive. But the fact of the matter is that his top quarterback, Jamie Newman, coming in from Wake Forest, the graduate transfer, Dale, he's had an injury that he hadn't been able to participate. A mid-foot sprain that's what they're calling it. He's just starting to really get acclimated and get back on the field as the practices start. But he's missed a lot of the offseason conditioning and a lot of the offseason work that they've done amongst the players with the 7-on-7 of sorts. So that concerns me, as well as the quarterback JT Daniels that they got in from USC. He has not been cleared. His knee has been cleared to play. So what does that mean? Juan Daniels, who obviously has been on campus, has been, of course, not healthy, but he's been cleared. The quarterback race, Dale, might be a little bit more, sophisticated than we think.
I think it's going to be real hard, DJ, because, again, you got a new offensive coordinator coming in, and I know this. Whichever quarterback picks up the offense the best, that's probably going to be that starting quarterback. You don't need injuries to take a place in this, DJ, because one of the biggest things about it, when September 26th is right around the corner.
It is right around the corner. And over on the Plains, where, of course, the Auburn Tigers, I know a lot of talk has been about, what are they going to do, obviously, to rebound. But we know the biggest thing is replacing those 2 top defensive linemen that are now playing on Sundays. But, one thing that I know, we had a young man from this area, Tank Bigsby, the running back. He was going over there. And I'm looking for Tank to really step it up and really be an integral part of that offensive game.
I think he's going to be great too, DJ, because I think really Cadillac Williams, the guy that really recruited him, he has the same style like Cadillac, and I think really he's going to be a big piece that Auburn really wants to replace. The Bo Nix piece is going to be great. But like you said, DJ, I think really the question mark is going to be the defensive lineman. But I have confidence in Rodney Gardner. He's going to have some big nasties on the line that could replace Marlon Davis and Derrick Brown. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Chad Scott's going to be calling the plays. He's the offensive coordinator. He's a good friends, of course, with Gus Malzahn. They worked together years ago, best friends. So I think that's chemistry right there that you can't account for, because obviously when you have a coach or you have a person on your staff that obviously you guys basically are the same person when it comes to offensive philosophies. I think that Auburn's going to surprise some people.
I think they're going to surprise some people. They always do, and I think really Gus, having someone that has his heart and his mind for his calling plays at the helm, I think that's going to be a very good thing. I think Bo Nix being back, Auburn's always going to not have a problem scoring points on offense, but I think really defensively, if they can play nasty on the defensive side of the ball, I think they're going to be real tough again, DJ.
Everybody's wondering what's going to happen up in Tuscaloosa when the Georgia Bulldogs invade Tuscaloosa here in several weeks. But you know what? I'm thinking, Dale, obviously, we don't know a whole lot of the names of the stars that'll be the guys that'll be stepping up for the Alabama Crimson Tide. However, that year after year after year, Nick Saban and his coaches, they put players on the field that obviously have them in the hunt.
They're going to be in the hunt, DJ. And really, my biggest question, even with Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs, before this COVID-19 piece came around, They were scheduled to play Alabama September the 19th over in Tuscaloosa. I don't know if they're going to change that date, DJ, but I sure wouldn't want to start off with Alabama. But if it happens, it happens. So that's going to be interesting, even if see if they move that date or not.
I don't know about anybody else, but I do know the other two teams that were added to Georgia's schedule was Mississippi State and Arkansas. Now,
that's right.
Again, the dates are coming out, and as we tape this show, of course, we'll have it. Of course, we'll get that information to you the next time around. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break. You're watching the Sports Visions television show.
Bus is coming in 10 minutes. Come eat breakfast.
Hey, watch the homework.
Do you know if it's supposed to rain?
Where's my gray hat?
Where did you leave it?
It's your body.
What time does practice end today?
I like that headband. It really makes a statement.
Are you gonna wear this to work? Let's go. Bus is here.
Liberty Utilities natural gas. So reliable, you'll forget we're there.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
It started with a few smaller bills. $50 here.
$80.
$100. I had good health insurance.
Why isn't this covered? Well, then they started getting bigger. $800.
$1,800.
I saved for this.
But not that much. I'm glad I had Aflac.
They gave me money when I needed it most.
That's why Aflac is here, to help with the expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
I love that Aflac duck.
Aflac! Get to know us at aflac.com.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. We are now talking NFL, more importantly, our Atlanta Falcons report. And of course, the teams are in the Camp Dale. And again, they're ready to do some hitting because obviously it's been somewhat detained because of all the testing and all the protocols that have been going on. But now it's time to get down to business.
It's time to get down to business, DJ. And really, everybody seems to be excited about the Todd Gurley piece and really the explosion that the Falcons offense should have. I think really for us, but the biggest question mark I think is going to be the defensive side of the ball, DJ. And if they can make plays and get back to doing what they do on defense, I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to have a very successful season.
You're absolutely right, and I think that if the Falcons could duplicate anything close to what they did 2 seasons ago on defense, they'll have themselves right back in a situation that they were in 3 years ago, taking this team back to the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan obviously is we're looking for him to have a stellar season. He has a lot of weapons around him. We expect for him to get the protection he needs because you know as well as I do, when you protect Matt Ryan, good things happen for the Atlanta Falcons offense.
Like we've been saying for the last 4 years, if you keep him clean, the Atlanta Falcons are going to do great things. You got to keep him clean. You got to protect this guy. Give him the time to throw the ball, distribute the ball around. He's got some of the best receivers core that's probably in football, with Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones. I think really they're going to do some great things on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, that is still the question mark. I think they're getting safeties in left and right. Canu Neal, who got tore ACL last year, that was a big concern. But I think really getting the Wilcox kid that's great from Georgia Southern that could play for the Cowboys, did a great job for the Cowboys when he played safety. I think he's going to be a great addition to that Falcons defense. You're getting the Dante Fowler piece, getting him on defense. And I think really to get the Brady Garrett piece, all these guys can make plays behind the line of scrimmage, some negative plays. So if the Falcons offense can put some points on the board, I think their defense is going to be great this year, DJ.
You know, the good thing about what's happening in the early goings of camp is that we hadn't had a whole lot of talk about COVID-19 or a positive test with regards to coronavirus deal. Even though they're not in the bubble, the NFL obviously, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as many players as Major League Baseball when you talk about and consider what they have to control and what they have to go through. But the good thing about it is that, again, nothing has flared up to make you think that there will be any complications with regards to the season moving forward.
Well, I think really they're doing a great job for us. The NFL, Major League Baseball, I think they're doing a great job with the coronavirus protocol piece, and I think really they're learning a lot from that NBA bubble piece, meaning everybody you got to have a bubble. You got to have some restrictions. Everything's got to be tested. You got to be tested whether you're going to be every day until it gets to a point where, you start getting 2-a-days when you get, so the continual testing piece is going to continue to go on, DJ, but really you got to keep your hands on this thing, man, and really hopefully we'll have some safe football and none of the players, we won't say none of the players, but hopefully they can keep those numbers down of testing positives.
Some of the other intriguing stories that have broken over the last week or so with regards to the National Football League, the tight ends have all of a sudden, they're worth big money. I know with Travis Kelce, most recently signed, redid his deal, had a 4-year, $57 million extension done, of course, by the Kansas City Chiefs. And we know that Travis Kelce is off the chain. He is one of the top receivers, not just tight ends, one of the top receivers in the National Football League. George Kittle, of course, he signed a big deal with the 49ers. Again, he was sensational. 5 years, $75 million. So that's high cotton, man. That's paying these two tight ends down upwards of what the best wide receivers in the league are getting.
I mean, really, DJ, that tight end position is very important now. These guys want to get paid like wide receivers right now. And really, when you can get $15 million, and far as the 49ers are concerned, and far as the Kansas City Chiefs, they do have probably the best too. But I think I like what the Atlanta Falcons did with their addition too of getting the Hughes kid out of for the Baltimore Ravens. They got him to come in, and I think really he's in that top tier of tight ends also. And
of course, as you talk about some of the other quarterbacks, again, it's no doubt obviously what Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs did with him, of course, a month or so ago, again, making him the one of the top paid athletes, not just in football, but in all of pro sports with the humongous contract. But again, all eyes are on Lamar Jackson. What is he going to pay Lamar Jackson? Of course, Dak's going through his situation, but somewhat his future has been secure. He has locked in. Of course, he's getting $30+ million guaranteed, and again, he'll probably have that tag. I'm thinking that Jerry's not going to sign him to a long-term deal. He's going to probably play it out again and get $38 million next year guaranteed, and then he'll have an opportunity to go on the open market. But it's a lot of money out there for these young quarterbacks.
It is, and it's a lot of money. Period. We might have coronavirus problems, but really, when it comes down to money in the NFL, that's no problem at all. I got to pose this question to you too, because everybody's opting out, DJ, and now fans are opting out. They don't want to buy the tickets this year. Those season ticket holders in certain areas, they want to opt out. They're going to say, okay, we're going to pay for our season tickets in 2021. But that poses a big problem with the Green Bay Packers. And you play for the Packers, DJ. Tell our viewers out there what that problem is, please.
Well, it sounds good, and it looks like that the ticket holders have the ball in their court. However, you got to understand the Green Bay Packers. Those tickets, I mean, that's like you got to almost will those tickets, to pass them on. Again, you have a waiting list of, it's outrageous. So just say this, okay, you don't want to pay for your 2020 tickets or whatever stipulations are in the fine print with the Green Bay Packers as it pertains to season ticket holders. If you opt out, hey, guess what? You got a long list, a laundry list of folks on the waiting list that can step up and take care of it now. And now all of a sudden you're bumped. So I would be careful to think that I'd opt out, and unless, like I said, you got to read the fine print. What are the stipulations for a season ticket holder with regards to if you do opt out? How will you be considered, or will you be considered in 2021, or is the next person in line? It's like to say, next man up.
Well, really, I think really the owners got to think about this real. I think really, saying that there won't be any fans, I think they pulled the trigger a little bit too fast on that one, DJ, because really, like a lot of people say, well, and one of the options are that you can opt out and pay for your tickets for the 2021, or if you already paid your money, that money goes towards your 2021 season ticket holders. So you got to be careful about that, because really, like you said, DJ, they got a waiting list. You're going to lose if you just say, okay, we're opting out and we're not going to get any tickets. Well, you got to go back on the waiting list, and nobody wants to go on the waiting list when I know when you were playing for the Packers. I mean, people were getting wheeled tickets. Their parents were dying and stuff, and they were wheeling their family. Who's going to get the tickets? That was the biggest discussion. It wasn't the wheel; it was who's going to get these tickets. So really, it's something to think about, man. But really, that ticket restriction during this COVID-19 piece is going to touch on every level, from the NFL to college to even high school. So really, that's the biggest contingent. I think one of the biggest things, along with keeping these kids safe, is going to be the ticket situation here in a minute.
All right, we'll take a short break. This is Sports Features.
Hi, I'm Lakeisha Thomas Ligon, and I want to be your Phoenix City School Board District 3 Place 1 representative. I am a proven servant leader, a great listener, a people's person. And just to be honest, Keisha loves the kids. So on August 25th, let's level up with Lakeisha. Vote me, District 3, Place 1, for your school board representative.
Miss Florence is one of the most caring and professional people I have ever met. She absolutely loves children and wants to make sure they succeed. I'm one of them. She really cares for her entire community. She is awesome.
I want our students and families to feel a sense of confidence that the school board is working in their best interest. It's working for their safety.
Vote for Miss Florence Bellamy.
Paid for by the campaign to elect Florence Bellamy.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like. I wish I could fix my lips to express how amazing that love truly is. And even though those words may flow beautifully through a melodic tune, there have been far too many unopened conversations to the address of the elephant that is getting comfortable in our living room when it comes to the topic of being black. A simple color that you see in a box of Crayola crayons, the asphalt where we plant our feet, from the cup of coffee that we wish to drink, or a simple arrow planted on a traffic sign that can lead us to our next destination. Yet every day I find it hard people appreciate this color on materialistic objects rather than the color attached to the pigmentation of human faces. Answer me this. When it comes to the American dream, is it based upon breaking metaphorical chains, securing a financial augmentation, a damsel in distress rescued by a hero answering her cry for hope? No. Because this country has given us more nightmares than dreams, especially wondering if our children will ever return home. As a black boy in this country, statistics have shown that our most anticipated moment is receiving a diploma at our high school graduation. But hearing our names across that stage doesn't compare to the words, "Son, it's time you and I have a conversation." To explain the nature of you asking, why did the kids look at me weird on the playground in the 3rd grade? Or why did Jeff and Amy say that they could no longer play with me? In a society built for your anxiety. A crippling nation we live in, and the frustration of being the ones playing the music's sad violins. Now, you're young. I know, and I once found myself in your shoes, 16 and free, where my soul had a right to choose what I wanted to achieve. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Miss Parker asked. And as she was finishing up to the back of the class, I found myself throwing my right hand up to where it was evident. "The president. I want to be the president." As the class turned slow to me, I realized that no one wanted to address the elephant. That black boys can never be respected in that way. And while it sits back in 83, even today your generation isn't much more free than when I was your age. So son, before I let you have these keys, I must say something. Be cautious. Because even though you are a king, this world will look down on you as if they were better, making you feel like nothing. It'll make you want to scream, accusing you of stealing in the dressing room, asking the passive-aggressive, "May I help you look for anything? May I help you look for something?" And the stare you'll get from the cashier in the gas station when you're just looking for your favorite drink. Son, when you're on that road, think twice about speeding, not using your blinker, or making too long of eye contact with the stranger next to you at the red light. Because while it is your right to be on the road just as much as anyone else, the kids who are white don't have to fear for their lives by men who sit as killers in the skies. If you're pulled over, don't ever look at them directly in the eyes. Keep both hands on the wheel. And though you may feel disrespected, always stay respectful with a yes, sir. Because it's better for you to live and see tomorrow than to be another hashtag that'll occur. So as you lay your head on your pillow, remember this. Though this may be land of the free, the voices that came before you had a price to pay. And though black boy joy may cease, the fear of a black man shall never fade away. So in this country of peaceful protests, fallen angels, and all of the filmed violence, son, may you always hold your peace, but never hold your silence.
Welcome back to Sports Vision's Major League Baseball deal is a third of the way through this 60-game sprint. And I know that with that said, 60 games, obviously, they played roughly 20 games, even though we do have a wild card in there that I don't know how they're going to catch up, Dale, because you're talking about, you got basically 55 days, 54 days to get in 50-some-odd games. And I know when you talk about the Cardinals, that's one of those teams that has to catch up.
That's right. They got to catch up, DJ. And one good thing about the baseball, they have that template where they're postponing games, but they can play double-hitter games to catch up. And I think really if these teams that, like the Cardinals, if they're not really competing for a division championship or going to the World Series, they're not going to make up those games, DJ. You look at the Atlanta Braves have played all their games. They're right at 23 games. But the Marlins, you look at, they're right at 15 games because really they had a week that they couldn't play. So really they got a little grace period when you start talking about doing double hitters or make-up games. Those are kind of pretty easy to do during those times. But really, other than that, man, we've got some great baseball, man.
Aaron Judge obviously has just been on fire, Dale, and there's several others that have done well. But he's jumped out there, and hopefully he can stay healthy. I know he's had a few lumps and bumps here recently, but he has been sensational. Again, when you talk about the Atlanta Braves and what they've been able to do, even without their complete pitching staff, because, again, losing Mike Soroka is just detrimental to in anybody's book. However, there's been some names on the back of those jerseys that we hadn't been able to recognize. And again, those are the guys that, that term next man up, that's what's going to have to happen. Got a couple of superstars and young players in the Braves lineup that are injured. Risk injuries, of course, when you talk about Ozzie Albies as well as Ronald Acuna. So hopefully these guys will be able to get back in the mix and not miss too much time to get them, because obviously it took Ronald Acuna, a few weeks to get up and running, and he got his bat hot, and all of a sudden now he has to, sit out a couple of games, and hopefully it won't be many more games so that he can continue to thrust and get to where he needs to be so that he can propel these Atlanta Braves into the production that we're looking for as far as they chase the postseason.
I really, I like the Braves makeup in their lineup. They have a potent lineup, and they have a great bench. One of my biggest concerns, though, just like you said, has been the pitching situation. The Mike Soroka piece, that piece right there hurts tremendously. But Max Fried is coming in doing a great job. Kyle Wright does a great job. And even, Touki Toussaint, he's picked up some more starts. But I think at the same time, you got to pull some of those prospects, some of those young pitchers, because all these guys started as young pitchers. You might find out that, there's a diamond in the rough, DJ, because the Braves have one of the top farm systems in baseball. And I gotta think that Coach Snicker is just thinking, we gotta try some of these young guns, and somebody might tag on, DJ, because we gonna need some help, man. Or Mill, you gonna have to go pitch. So they need some help at pitching. The hitting piece, they're loaded with hitters, DJ. I say that you don't want to do without Ronald Acuna Jr. or Ozzie Albies. But they have a stacked lineup, and that designated hitter piece helps the Atlanta Braves tremendously.
Something interesting that I thought that manager Snitker was doing just recently is putting Freddie Freeman in the number 2 slot. Now that's a little different, but again, hey man, you know what? There's a lot of hitters.
You know, I keep going back to the travel ball day. You know, when you put a guy in the number 2 spot, he's going to get some extra bats. And I think Freddie needs to just keep on hitting. Putting him at 3 and 4, DJ, he might lose a bat, man. But I think really putting him at the 2 slot, and even Dansby Swanson, man, he led off. You know, so when you get some extra at bats, that helps you out tremendously, and it helps to keep you hot too.
It helps to keep you hot indeed. I know that the the Atlanta Braves, the attendance deal, again, Eric keeps going back to the attendance thing. Now, we're so used to, and we're so, like I said, we're a third of the way into the season now that the fans just don't seem to have any kind of, I guess, as far as a viewer, as far as me watching, they don't have any implications on the outcome of the game.
They don't, DJ, but at the same time, I've been sitting at home. I thought not having fans in the stands would be a big effect, but it's not. You know, the piped-in noise and all the things, I'm still thinking I'm watching a baseball game, and I watch the players, and I really, don't pay attention that much to the fan anyway. But the fan noise on these places, it's been great. But really, I applaud the Atlanta Braves for just being able to play throughout this whole situation, because really, if this Nick Markakis piece, him not coming back, DJ, him getting on fire at the right time with Acuna and Osby's out, I mean, that's been big for the Atlanta Braves at this point. But really, they're in first place in the National League East. So really, if they can continue to play, even in this series coming up with the Washington Nationals, that's going to be interesting because they always go after one another.
When you're talking about some of the other players that obviously have stand out in the league, the Dodgers, obviously, you can't help but think about, Mookie Betts. Betts, this guy's outstanding. We're finding out that he has some power, too, that they didn't know. But obviously, this guy is he's a 5'2" guy.
That's right.
He can run, throw, he can hit, he's a great fielder, and, of course, he can hit for power.
He deserves every bit of the money, DJ. And really, Mookie Betts been a big name that just jumps out in Major League Baseball, just like Aaron Judge. But then at the same time, DJ, the Oakland A's have the best record in baseball. And I think really, those are boys right there. The Oakland A's have always had a tradition of being a great baseball organization, and they continue to do well. They have the best record in the major leagues right now.
All right, we're going to take a short break. This is Sports Visions.
In Japan, they have something called Kobe beef. That's how we do it at Luke's Pub. 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 Y'all come out and see us.
Welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. Dale, just a lot to be excited about. More importantly, the fact that we do have live sports that we can talk about, that we can break down, that we can analyze. It's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling. Things are seem like they're slowly getting back to normal, and that's the only thing that we've been asking for, because when things are not at normal, you got to make adjustments. You got to do this, you got to do that. A date means nothing, but really it is good to see things slowly getting back to normal.
Absolutely, and I know that those fans out there can appreciate it and know not just from the standpoint of the high school fans, but the collegiate football fans are really excited to have the opportunity to know that you're only a few weeks away from kicking off SEC football.
I mean, a few weeks away, and people are excited. And, I really like the way that Greg Sankey and the SEC has handled the situation, knowing that the SEC are leaders. And I think really just for us not letting too much information out there and just waiting and kind of holding that, just saying that we're going to hold up for a minute. September 26th, that's working good. Kids will be back at school and everything. And for us, time being on our side, sometimes you're going to have to do that. And I think, sometimes it might be an opportunity where they might have to postpone the game. We don't know how all this thing is going to work out, but just for us, the effort that we're going to have a football season in 2020 and not waiting to the spring, I like that. I applaud that.
We made mention earlier in the show about the attendance policy for the all levels, high school, college, and professional. Again, when you talk about, having an opportunity, you're not going to be able to allow the capacity of the stadium. You got to go in with percentages. And, when you talk about on the high school level, you go from a 10 to 15,000 seat stadium to allowing maybe 15 to 2,000 people. I don't know how they're going to get cut through the nuts and bolts of deciding who's going to come. Well, at least we were told that they were going to start with the families of the players as well as the band and the cheerleaders. That's where they will start, and if there's any tickets left, then they'll sell them. But on the college level, Dale, when you talk about boosters and donors and people that have been, given hundreds of thousands of dollars to these universities, and you go from a 90,000, 80,000, 100,000 seater to going down to 20, 25, 30,000 people, that's a lot of cuts, and I don't know how they're going to do that.
It's going to be very difficult, DJ, and then like you said, on every level, it's going to be some ticket restrictions. But at the same time, for the high school piece, I think you're going to hurt that high school because you got rival games. You got, take a Carver Spencer, a Columbus Northside, a Auburn and Central game. These games are packed, and you're going to limit these kids, and most of that money goes to that program, DJ. So that's going to be a problem on the high school side. And then for us, the college side, DJ, all the contributors and donors that give money, and you're going to limit these people, and you're going to cut the ticket price. Somebody that paid $250,000 for a box, DJ, and you're going to limit them from 30 tickets to now you're going to limit to 15. That's going to be interesting to see how that is handled. But like I said, the SEC, like we were told, they're going to handle that situation all this week when they put the schedule out there, the ticket limitations, all these things are going to be hammered out, and we're going to find out. But I'd rather have some football, though, DJ.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, that's going to do it for all the sports we have for today. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.